that's the Cliff Wheeler Band there, Find My Way. Brand new here to Music Mafia Radio. I'm hanging out with Cliff Wheeler and Gary Orlando. And you guys, your beverages are okay? Frosty and cold still?
Yeah, Gary just made a cooler run while we were listening to the song.
All right, sweet. Because I was running out. And, Jose, come back. They got it. All right, so,
we're good.
So what's going on now? So, I mean, 4 decades of pounding away musically. I mean, you don't sound like you're close to even being done. In fact, when I listen to some of this music, it almost sounds like, I mean, I would have guessed you just started a few years ago. I mean, you got some big ideas for the future, some big plans. You working on some new stuff?
We absolutely do. I just booked some studio time in January. I'm in the process of writing the next album. I didn't use all of the songs that I wrote for Wheeler, but I'm just going to keep those in inventory, and I'm writing all new material for the next album, working title To the Bone. We've got almost 5 songs complete. We're going to try to do at least 10, maybe a dozen songs on this one. We're going to do some stuff that's going to be a little bit different. Some of it will be right along the same lines as what we're doing or what we did on Wheeler. But yeah, man, we're excited. To tell you the truth, when we did Wheeler, Gary says it was 4 rehearsals. I wrote the songs. We got together. We rehearsed 4 times. Went into the studio, recorded the album in 7 days. Then mixing and mastering. But I put a self-imposed deadline on it. I missed it, but I put a deadline on it. And this one, still working against deadlines, but we're definitely going to put some more rehearsal time into it, have the songs a little bit more worked out before we get into the studio. And I think the product's going to be, it's going to be good. I was down in Myrtle Beach this past weekend, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And so I ran a couple of the new tunes that translate to acoustic by a small audience down there. And based on the reception, I'm excited. I think this next album's going to be really good.
You mentioned something there that caught my ear. You had said that when you get into the studio this time to cut this one, you said something to the effect of you're going to put a little bit more into it. Do you feel like you rushed the last album?
Well, Rick, you talking about how long we've been doing this? Man, things have changed so much in the studio. It was. I hadn't been back into a professional studio since, I guess, the 90s.
Yeah.
And, man, we were still dealing with tape and, just everything. Now everything's is digital and Pro Tools. Man, it just, I'd seen Garrett mess around with GarageBand and stuff, so I had a little bit of an idea. But after going through that one, I learned how things work so much. I have such a better understanding of how things work now that it will change the approach that I take going in there. Did we rush it? Maybe a little, but everybody was sort of in the same boat. Other than Garrett, the youngest guy in the band is mid-30s now. Kevin, that's the drummer. His band Method of Madness put out 2 albums, and so he was more familiar with it. And we did all the drum tracks in a little more than half a day. I think taking a deep breath, having a little better understanding of how things work now is going to be a big advantage to us. And I think, don't take this the wrong way. I'm really proud of Wheeler. I think it's awesome. But I'm really excited to see what we can do on this next one.
Yep. Well, it was.
Go ahead, Gary. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
All right. Well,
He's in the shadows.
Yeah, I'm in the shadow. I'm always in the shadows. I'm the quiet one.
Well, that's okay. But again, the mic is. Hey, don't let Cliff be a mic hog, Gary. Right? You have.
Yeah, he is. Nah.
Now,
I just turn my Marshalls up louder.
So now that you guys are, and Gary, I'll let you answer this. Now that you guys are going into the studio this time with, as you said, kind of a different approach, do you think it's going to change your sound any?
My sound there was very raw. All I did was play straight through a Marshall with a wah pedal. No effects, nothing, which you can tell. But yeah, my other equipment, when I play with my regular band, I have like everything going on because of the style of music. But it just depends. I don't know. I like it raw. It might not be good to some people, but I just like, that's me.
Well, no, I got to be honest with you. I have to agree with you. I like the raw myself. And I'm not accusing anybody of doing this, but nowadays, we talked about how things are different in the studio. Everything's digital. There's all kinds of technology to do different things now. Auto-tune and such things are a big factor with bands nowadays. Do you think that's something you'll utilize more, or do you kind of still want to just stick to the raw?
No, I'll answer. If Gary doesn't mind, I'll answer that one. Yeah, no, we very much even on Wheeler, and it'll be the same way on To the Bone. We want to sound like what we're going to sound like live, and that means distorted guitars, not overly compressed. I think that. And this is just, everybody's got opinions, but I think so much of the music today is just overly processed, and to the point that it loses its soul. And so, no, I promise you that it will be very raw.
I love that. Go ahead, Gary.
And one of your listeners, or one of the guys, said filthy guitars. That's awesome. I never heard that before.
I didn't catch that, but my guess would be Kaz probably said that.
I think that's who it was.
Yeah, it was Kaz.
He's such a great dude. Hey, have you guys gone over to Cosmic Debris and introduced yourselves yet? Or?
We have, and he actually, and a big shout out to Kaz. I don't know if he's in the chat room tonight, but big shout out to Kaz. He actually included us on a playlist this week, and we're super appreciative of that. And while I'm saying that, man, we're just appreciative of Music Mafia Radio. You, Kim, Peggy, everybody has just been so good to us, and we just can't thank you enough, man. This has just been, we released this album April 1st, and you guys sort of got the ball rolling, hooked up with Kim through indieartistrule.com. And you guys sort of got the ball rolling for us, and it's really been sort of surreal at times that the results that we've gotten and the poll results and everything is really sort of floored us a little bit, but we love it. We absolutely love it.
Love it. I think it's unbelievable.
Well, it is great to hear, and I can honestly tell you guys, we don't do this for the accolades or anything else. We truly are passionate, and we truly do believe in you guys and the other artists. There are so many of you out there that are just so incredibly stellar, and unfortunately, we're caught up in this deal where. You got these mainstream conglomerates that pick and choose who it is we listen to and who it is I guess we're supposed to deem famous or popular or what have you, which I think is ridiculous because as we were talking a moment ago with the everything being so over-processed nowadays, it is very, very rare anymore nowadays to hear a mainstream band sound remotely close to what they do on their CD, and nowadays all these so-called best of the best that are on mainstream, every single one of them, not all the time, but the majority of the time, are lip syncing at, like, the award shows or, the Super Bowl or what have you. They're lip syncing to that auto-tuned process creation that was made in the studio. And one of the things that attracts us so much to you independent artists is you keep it real, you keep it raw. The majority of you sound exactly like you do on stage as you do your CDs. And, I think that's what it's all about. I think the independent artist is a good poster board for bringing back when music was freaking real. When music was real, when it was raw, as you said earlier, Cliff, when it had soul. I can't remember the last time I listened to something on mainstream and it gave me goosebumps. But I can, every time I do a show, I hear at least 5 or 6 things that we play that give me those goosebumps that I can feel. It's like I can feel what you're feeling when I'm listening to your music.
And that's what it's supposed to be all about. Actually, Garrett and I had a conversation this afternoon. One of the bands that was opening, I won't call them out by name, but the band that was opening for Metallica had, in 2 or 3 songs, had keyboards. And I was like, it just dawned on me that I meant to ask him about it earlier. And I was like, where was the keyboard player? And he's like, man, he said, that's just the way it is nowadays. People don't carry all that stuff. They just is programmed. And I was, Gary and I are obviously old school, but, you play what you play and hope the audience likes it, So that's sort of where I'm at on that. So don't expect anything overly processed from us anytime in the future.
Well, I think one of the great things about the internet is the fact that, now we're able to do such things like we're doing here at MMR. Because of the internet, all that hidden talent, like you guys and many others out there, I mean, there's thousands and thousands of you out there, but all that hidden talent now has a way to be exposed and heard on a regular basis, and in some cases get just as much airtime as anything on mainstream. And because of the way our technology is going, more and more people are tuning into internet radio, satellite radio in their cars, and FM is they're worried. I think this is the era of the comeback for indie artists. I really do.
And this is really exciting too, and just this has been a real eye opener, seeing how all this works, and that there's folks out there like you that are pushing the agenda, and God bless you for it, man. God bless you for it.
And,
Yep.
We need as many of us out there to do it. That's one thing I've preached about many times here. Listen, we're not in competition with anybody. We want to obviously, we want people to enjoy what we do here and tune in or what have you, but the ultimate goal is to get you guys heard everywhere possible. So, for instance, there's a few other internet radio stations that faithfully listen to us and take notes, and some of the artists that we play have been contacted by them, and they've been played over there. And I know for doing this for the last 7 years, I know other DJs that get kind of competitive and pissy about that. But really, the ultimate goal is to, for example, I had one artist get a hold of me one day and said, because of us, another station heard about them and asked to play their music. And they said that they felt kind of weird about it. They felt like they were cheating on us. We don't want an artist to feel that way. We don't want to feel an artist that we don't want an artist to feel that we want them to be exclusive to us. Really, the ultimate